Hello everyone, this is Pranjali from Profound EduTech Private Limited. Okay, so in this session, now we'll see introduction part for CSS. Okay, so for CSS, already we have discussed HTML part. So we need HTML to design your web pages to apply different formatting to your web page. Okay. So before going to start with this session, exactly same instructions. Yes, all of you, I will suggest you, please use chat box. Okay, if you have any doubt, आपको कुछ भी doubt है, कुछ problem है, just put it in chat box. I will check your problems. I will check your doubt from chat box. Okay. So I hope chat box सबको accessible है. Yes, please give confirmation. Is it accessible to everyone? Okay, Arun is saying yes. Okay, Niyati is saying yes. What about other students? Okay, okay. So today we'll start with the introduction part of CSS. Okay, so just a moment, I'm sharing my screen. Is my screen is visible to everyone? Yes. Please give confirmation in chat box. Okay. Okay. So already we have discussed what is HTML. Just will revise some concepts from your HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. With the help of HTML, we can design our web pages. So in HTML, we have discussed different basic formatting tags. We have discussed advanced formatting tags also. We have defined the structure of our web page. Okay. Now today we'll see the introduction part for CSS. So CSS means it stands for Cascading Style Sheets. आप बोलोगे with the help of HTML तो हमने web pages design किए हैं. We can create different web pages with the help of HTML. But if you want to represent your web page, then it can be possible with the help of CSS. Okay. So already we have discussed key HTML means it is a combination of hypertext and markup language. But HTML is used to describe the structure of your web page. Just web page का structure आप define कर सकते हो with the help of HTML. But if you want to add some formatting, means if you want to represent your web page, then we can use CSS. Yes. So this is the difference between HTML and CSS. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is a combination of hypertext and markup language. Hypertext means linking between the web pages, and markup language means it describes the structure of your web page. Whereas CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. Okay. Then CSS is used to represent your web page. For presentation, for representation, we can use CSS. So clear all of you? So the CSS is totally based on your HTML. Means when we define a CSS, we need HTML. आपको HTML का help लेना है to define a CSS in your web page. Because when we define CSS syntax, we need selectors. We'll discuss each and everything about the CSS. So again, जैसे HTML most interesting था, exactly same आपका CSS भी most interesting है. As I told you in HTML session, with the help of HTML, you can design your web pages with the help of different elements. Whereas in CSS, you can design different web pages with the help of different CSS properties. In CSS, there are different properties are present. Okay, some basic properties are there as well as advanced CSS properties are also there. So based on your requirement, you can use these properties and you can create your particular web page. So in HTML, we have discussed that we can create different forms with the help of different form controls. As well as we can display data in tabular format with the help of table tag. Then different tags are there, that is HTML multimedia के लिए audio and video tag is there. So if you want to embed audio and video files in your web page, then it is possible with the help of audio and video tag. Same in CSS. Again with the help of CSS में different CSS properties are there, and with the help of that properties, you can design your web pages, you can represent your web page. Okay? तो कौन से properties है? Some basic properties are there, like for background. In HTML, we have discussed how to set background color to your web page and how to set background image to your web page. Exactly same backgrounds भी आप define कर सकते हो in CSS, but for that different properties are there. Then in HTML, see, अब यहाँ पे कुछ limitations है of HTML. Okay, so to overcome that limitation, we can use CSS. Now we'll discuss first why we need CSS. In HTML, we have discussed font tag. Okay. Then suppose I want to create one website or I want to create one web page. And उस वेब पेज पे by default जो भी डेटा आप राइट करते हो वो कौन से कलर में रिप्रेजेंट होता है? Yes, anyone from your side? Already we have discussed the same thing in HTML session. जो भी डेटा आप बॉडी टैग में राइट करते हो वो डिस्प्ले करने के बाद मीन्स एग्जीक्यूट करने के बाद कौन से कलर में डिस्प्ले होता है? Yes. Okay, Bushra is saying in black color. Very good, correct. Then font का size same होता है क्या? Yes. But with the help of different attributes आप वो color change कर सकते हो. Okay. Then font का size भी we can change. Yes. As well as font family we can change by adding 3 different attributes like color, face and then size. Now, instead of designing one web page, I want to design one website. So, website में एक ही web page रहेगा क्या? No. वहाँ पे multiple web pages रहेंगे. Yes. And each and every web page पे, let's consider in my application, I have 100 web pages. And वो 100 web pages पे मुझे different font color, different font size and different font family चाहिए. तो क्या करोगे आप? With the help of HTML, each and every web page पे आप font tag यूज करोगे. Yes. तो यहाँ पे सेम कोड रिपीट होगा. Yes. Then unnecessarily आपका टाइम भी वेस्ट होगा बिकॉज सेम ही डेटा आप नंबर ऑफ वेब पेजेस पे ऐड कर रहे हो. Yes. इट इज अ टाइम कंज्यूमिंग टास्क. सेम डेटा हमें रिपीट करना पड़ रहा है. Yes. So to overcome this, we can use CSS. तो आप बोलोगे अगर CSS यूज किया तो ये वाला टास्क कैसे रिड्यूस होगा? See, when we use CSS, we will create separate CSS file And in that separate CSS file, we can define all CSS properties and we can just link that file into the HTML pages. तो सेम कोड रिपीट नहीं होगा, जस्ट एक फाइल का लिंकिंग आपके HTML फाइल में रहेगा. यस, तो यहाँ पे फॉर दिस रीजन वी हैव टू यूज CSS. And basic difference in between HTML and CSS is HTML is used to design or it describes the structure of your web page, whereas for presentation, CSS is used. Okay, so we'll see slides. So CSS stands for cascading style sheets. Now exactly same thing. Why CSS? So HTML is used tags for formatting a documents like H1 for heading and P tag for formatting. Means this is a paragraph. So problem kya hai in HTML? Exactly same thing which we have already discussed. So now we'll go through the slide. When tags like font and color attributes were added to the HTML, it nightmare for web developers, and then development of large websites where fonts and color information were added to every single page, it become a long and expensive process. So this is the problem by using HTML. For that, solution is CSS. So WWW means World Wide Web Consortium created CSS, that is W3C, means World Wide Web Consortium. By using all formatting could be removed from the HTML document and it stored in a separate CSS file. So as I told you, instead of adding that font tag and its attribute in different or in separate web pages, we can create separate CSS file and we can just link that CSS file in your HTML file. So that's the reason why we use CSS. Okay. Now we'll discuss what is CSS. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. It is used to describe the presentation of documents. Whereas HTML में ये describe करेगा structure of your document. Then CSS defines sizes, spacing, different fonts, different colors, different layouts, and it also improves flexibility. Now it is designed to separate presentation from content. Again, it is most important point about the CSS. When we use HTML, yes, जो भी फॉर्मेटिंग है, जो भी आपका प्रेजेंटेशन कंटेंट है, वो एक ही लाइन पे था. मीन्स इफ यू वांट टू डिफाइन पैराग्राफ टैग, तो आपने P tag यूज किया है. Then you can define one paragraph in between opening and closing tag of P. Okay. After that, if you want to add some attribute, like a line attribute, so that attribute we have added within the relevant tag. तो वो फॉर्मेटिंग जो आपको फॉर्मेट देना है एंड जो डेटा डिस्प्ले करना है वो एक ही लाइन पे प्रेजेंट था. यस, बट यूजिंग CSS नाउ वी कैन डिफाइन separate presentation from our content. Then due to CSS, all HTML presentation tags and attributes are modified like font and border. So these tags and attributes are modified in CSS. Same thing in HTML, जब भी आप border यूज करते हो तो बॉर्डर का स्टाइल, बॉर्डर का कलर सेम ही होता है. जस्ट इन HTML we can change the width of border. But if you want to change the color of border, if you want to change the style of border, then it is possible with the help of CSS. And for that, we can use different CSS border properties. Now, CSS can be applied to any XML, any HTML, and to any JavaScript document. It is not like that कि CSS सिर्फ आप HTML के लिए ही अप्लाई कर सकते हो. We can apply CSS to any XML, to any HTML, and to any JavaScript document. Now we'll see how to define a CSS. What is the syntax for that? So let's discuss syntax for CSS. So first, syntax के लिए, here you have to use selector, then curly bracket open, and then declaration. Declaration में क्या रहेगा डेटा? Declaration consists property name, okay, and value. Okay, so selector, then curly bracket open, declarations means your property name followed by value, and then curly bracket close. So see, same syntax is given. A CSS rule has two main parts, that is a selector and second one is declaration. Now what is a selector? Selector, that is nothing but HTML element that you want to style. Selector means आपके HTML का element रहेगा जिसको आपको different formatting assign करना है. Okay? Then curly bracket open and declaration. So declaration always consists property and value pair. So in declaration, first you have to define property, colon, value. One more difference in between HTML and CSS. In HTML, we can use attributes, and in CSS, we have to use CSS properties. And how to define attribute in HTML? Name of your attribute equal to double quotes में value. Okay? But in CSS, you have to define property, colon, value of that property. Now, see in the syntax, there are two different declarations. First declaration is color, colon, blue, semicolon. Second declaration, font hyphen size, colon, 12 pixel. So color and font size, these are the two different properties. And blue, it is a value for this color property. Then 12 pixel, again it is a value for this font size property. Now, for particular selector, we can define multiple CSS properties. We can define multiple CSS declarations. Here the syntax. So syntax for CSS is first selector, then curly bracket open, declaration, it consists property and value pair. And then number of declarations you can define for a single selector. And again, it should end with curly bracket. Okay. Now, ये syntax कहाँ पे define करना है? So we need one tag, and name of that tag is style tag. So within the style tag, you have to define this CSS syntax. Clear? So to define CSS in your web page, we need style tag. And with the help of this style tag, we can define CSS syntax. Okay, cleared all of you? So before going to see one application, हमें कुछ properties learn करने हैं. Then only we can apply those properties to a particular selector. Now again, CSS syntax के लिए some points are there. That is, the property is the style attribute that you want to change, and each property has a value. जो भी प्रॉपर्टी नेम आपने दिया है उसके लिए वैल्यू देना मैंडेटरी है. इफ यू डोंट डिफाइन एनी वैल्यू तो वो चेंजेस होंगे क्या? नो. सो ईच प्रॉपर्टी हैज अ वैल्यू. Then a CSS declaration always ends with a semicolon. So suppose आपने एक declaration दिया है, means first property colon value of that property, then it should ends with semicolon. And all declaration groups are surrounded by curly brackets. जितने भी properties आप define करोगे for a selector, it should be defined within the curly braces. Then to make your CSS more readable, you can put one declaration on each line. Within a line भी आप दे सकते हो. First declaration जैसे यहाँ पे दिखाया. First declaration semicolon, second declaration semicolon. Again you can add different declarations on the same line also. But अगर आपको आपका CSS more readable करना है, then you can put one declaration on each line. Okay, like this. यहाँ पे एक example दिया है. Now P, it is what? P, it is a tag in HTML. But how to define tag? With the help of angular brackets. Remember one thing, CSS में HTML के tags use नहीं करने हैं. यहाँ पे selector means only name of the HTML element. Okay. Then curly bracket open, first declaration color red, text align center, background color yellow. So these properties will be applicable to this entire paragraph. Clear? This is the CSS syntax. With the help of the CSS syntax, you can apply different properties to your particular selector from HTML. Clear the syntax for CSS? Yes, all of you? Yes, please use chat box. Okay, Bushra is saying yes. What about other students? Yes, Kajal is saying yes. Shubhangi is saying yes. Okay. Is there any doubt in the syntax? See, we'll discuss one demo first. Okay. Then you will get more clarity about the CSS syntax. Okay. But ये CSS syntax use करने के लिए, एक application create करने के लिए, right now हमें कुछ properties पता नहीं है. So we cannot construct any application. Okay. So first we'll discuss some CSS properties and then we'll add that property to a particular select. Okay. Now, see, there are different properties from CSS. Very first one is comments in CSS. Then text related properties means text के लिए different formatting assign करना है. So there are different text related properties are there. CSS background, CSS borders, then text transform effect. Again, this text transform effect we can define for text. We'll discuss each and every property one by one. Now, first we'll see comments in CSS. So, we know that comment means what? Yes, anyone from your side, already we have discussed comments. Yes. Okay, Kajal is saying used to give an overview. Okay, correct, Kajal. So comments are used to give an overview of your program. आपके प्रोग्राम का ओवरव्यू देने के लिए कमेंट्स यूज होते हैं. ओके, सो कमेंट्स, व्हेन वी डिफाइन कमेंट्स, ब्राउजर को कमेंट्स एग्जीक्यूट नहीं करता है. ओके, comments are ignored by browser. And how to define comments in CSS? So see, CSS comments are defined with the help of slash star, and it should end with star slash. Okay. So CSS comments begins with slash star, then your comment part, and it should end with star slash. In HTML, comment differently define करना है, that is left angular bracket, exclamatory mark, double hyphen, then your comment, and again it should end with double hyphen and then angular, right angular bracket. But in CSS, how to define comment? Slash star, and it should end with star slash. So comments are just used to give an overview of your program. आपके प्रोग्राम का ओवरव्यू देने के लिए कमेंट्स यूज होते हैं, बट कमेंट्स आर इग्नोर्ड बाय योर ब्राउजर. ब्राउजर कमेंट्स एग्जीक्यूट नहीं करता. And CSS comments start with slash star and it should end with star slash. Okay. Now, next. Text related CSS properties. So these are the different text related CSS properties. Color. If you want to change the color of particular element, then color property is used. And based on your requirement, you can give the color name, that is value. Then font size, we can change the font size by using this font size CSS property. Font family means जैसे आपने in HTML font tag का face attribute use किया था, यहाँ पे font family is a CSS property to change the font family. Then font style. So there are two different values for this font style. Normal text represent होगा and italic slightly change होगा. Italic में आपका data display होगा. Then text align property means you can change the alignment of your text. Next text related property is text shadow. So if you want to represent your text ka shadow, then this text hyphen shadow property is used. And letter spacing, as the name itself suggests, if you want to specify the space in between characters, then we can use this letter spacing property. Now we'll use these properties for a particular element. So let's create one file. Okay, so first you have to save your file with .html extension. Currently, I'm not creating separate CSS file. I'm using CSS in HTML file. So that's why you have to save your file with .html or using .html extension. So we'll save our file first. That is text related properties .html. So we have HTML file. So we have to generate structure of your web page. So exactly same, that is HTML. Right now ये data की हमें जरूरत नहीं है. This data already we have discussed in HTML. Now I want to apply some CSS properties. So as I told you, we have to use style tag. But where we can define that style tag? Do you remember in HTML, we have discussed the structure of HTML page. So entire structure of HTML page is divided into the two parts, head section and body section. Head section consists title tag, then style tag to apply CSS, and then link tag to link your CSS file or external file into the particular HTML file. So right now, हमें use करना है CSS. So I'm using style tag within the head tag. So जैसे ही आप generate करोगे style tag, यहाँ पे type equal to text/CSS means अब इस style tag में जो भी डेटा, जो भी टेक्स्ट आप यूज करोगे वो कौन से फॉर्मेट का रहेगा? CSS फॉर्मेट. ओके, now we'll define CSS syntax. Now first I want to assign some CSS properties to paragraph. So first selector. Selector means what? Yes, anyone from your side? What is selector? Okay. See, Sachin is saying HTML element which you want to style. Correct? So CSS में selector means जिस element के लिए आपको properties assign करने हैं. Now I want to assign some properties to my paragraph ना. So here selector name only क्या आएगा? P. Remember one thing, we can't write like this. Why? Because CSS does not contain HTML tag. It should contain CSS properties. So only selector name, then declarations are surrounded by curly braces, and then you can define your declarations. So first text related property is color. Okay, I want red color to my text. Next property is font size. I want to change the size of my text or font. So font size, suppose I am using 20 pixel. Then font family. Okay, so you can use different font families like Times New Roman, Arial, Vardhana, Sans Serif. Based on your requirement, you can use. Here I am using Arial. Okay, first we'll check for these properties. Now मैंने तो just properties add किए हैं, but ये properties कौन से data के लिए apply होंगे? So whatever data you want to display, that thing you need to define within the body tag. So inside this body tag, अब आएगा आपका P tag, okay? And then you can define your data. That is, this is text related property demo. Okay. Now for execution, exactly same execution, right click and then open in browser. Can you see? अब आपका पैराग्राफ रेड कलर में एंड यहाँ पे जो मैंने साइज एंड फॉन्ट फैमिली दिया है उस वो सारे प्रॉपर्टीज यहाँ पे एप्लीकेबल हो गया है. Yes, clear? So in this way you can assign properties. Can you see we have discussed one thing about the CSS. CSS जब भी हम यूज करते हैं तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है? Separate presentation from content. So this is my content. Okay, ये सेपरेटली राइट किया है एंड जो भी प्रेजेंटेशन पार्ट है वो सेपरेटली राइट किया है. अब यहाँ पे मिक्स हो गया है कि आपका प्रेजेंटेशन एंड कंटेंट. Clear all of you? So in this way you can construct your HTML file by using CSS. Yes. Now we'll discuss more CSS text related properties. Font style, then text align. Font style. Normal दिया तो normal display होगा. Italic के लिए value is italic. Let's check output. Same file में changes किए हैं तो just you have to refresh that file. आया है this is text related property demo in italic. Okay. Next, by default, whatever data we defined within the body tag, by default, वो left hand side को display होता है. I want to change the alignment of your text. HTML में आपने paragraph tag का align attribute use किया था, but here one CSS property is present. And name of that property is text align property. Let's add that property. Text align. Okay. So now I want to change the alignment. So I'm using here a right. Again same execution. Can you see? Shift हो गया है आपका पैराग्राफ राइट हैंड साइड को. Then मुझे मिडल में चाहिए तो वैल्यू आएगा सेंटर. So again shift होगा आपका पैराग्राफ from right to center. Can you see here? Now next property is text shadow property. Before going to learn this text shadow property, I want to add one more property, that is text transform property. So text transform property, see, text transform. For this text transform property, there are three values we can use: uppercase, lowercase, and capitalize. As the name itself suggests, uppercase means what? If you want to represent your data in uppercase character, means each and every letter uppercase में display होगा. Let's check this. So here we'll define each and every letter in small case, then only वो effect आपको दिखाई देगा. Understand? Okay. So right now we have our text in small case letters. I want to represent my data in uppercase characters. So for text transform property, value is uppercase. And let's check output. Can you see each and every letter? Capital letter यहाँ पे display हो गया है. Yes. Now we'll define each and every data in capital letter. Okay, that is text related properties. Done. Now I want to display this data in small case letters. So for that, value is lower case. Let's check output. Can you see? Each and every letter अब small case में display हो गया. But now here, I want to define another value, and that is capitalize. Okay. So for this capitalized value, we'll change our paragraph, that is this demo X based on CSS text related properties. Okay. Now, when we use capitalize, तो each and every letter का first word capital में display होगा. Okay. So we'll see output. Can you see this? इस letter का first word, इस word का first letter T, that is in capital. Again, demo word का first letter B capital. Clear? So based on your requirement, you can use these properties. Clear? Yes, all of you? Now, for this paragraph, I want to define underline. So how to define underline to your text in CSS? First of all, tell me HTML में हमने क्या यूज किया था? Yes, all of you? Anyone from your side? कौन सा टैग हमने यूज किया था to define underline to your text? Yes. Okay, Bushra is saying U tag or INS tag is also there. Yes, correct. So यहाँ पे तो हम tag use नहीं कर सकते हैं. Yes. तो यहाँ पे one property is there, and name of that property is text decoration. I want to define underline to my text, so value is underline. Let's check output. Can you see? आया है underline to your text, but अब मुझे underline नहीं चाहिए. मुझे टेक्स्ट के ऊपर मीन्स ओवर लाइन चाहिए, सो यू कैन चेंज द वैल्यू, दैट इज ओवर लाइन। नाउ टेक्स्ट के ऊपर एक लाइन आएगा। नाउ आई वांट बोथ ओवर लाइन एज वेल एज अंडर लाइन, सो हियर यू हैव टू पास टू वैल्यूज, ओवर लाइन स्पेस under, okay, and then we'll check output. Clear? Now in HTML we have used del tag to make your text deleted, but CSS में तो वो tag use नहीं होगा, तो यहाँ पे same text decoration property का value use करना है and name of that value is line through, okay. So in CSS, if you want to make your text as deleted, then this line through value of text decoration property is used. Okay. So right now we'll define here only underline. Cleared all of you? Yes. Now next text related property, that is text shadow and letter spacing. So letter spacing, each and every letter में अगर आपको space चाहिए, then we can use letter spacing property. So let's add that property. That is letter spacing. Suppose I want 10 pixel का space in between each and every letter. So we'll check output. Can you see? आया है यहाँ पे space in between each and every letter. Okay. Now I want to define text shadow property also. So text shadow property, as the name itself suggests, if you want to display your text ka shadow, okay, then that property is used. But for that, here I will define comment for text decoration property. So how to define comment in CSS? Yes. Okay. Slash star, and it should end with star slash. Okay. Now text shadow. Remember one thing, when we use this text shadow property, for this property, you have to pass three values. First value for x-axis, second value for y-axis, and last value for color. So x-axis 10 pixel, y-axis same मैंने दिया है 10 pixel, and color. अब आपको shadow कौन से color में चाहिए, that color you can define. Now I want my text का shadow in blue color. Okay. So मैंने दिया है just blue. Let's check output. Can you see आया है आपके text का shadow? Yes. So in this way, you can define these text related properties in CSS. Here all of you. So with the help of these properties, आपको आपका web page जैसे represent करना है वैसे आप represent कर सकते हो. So these are the just text related properties. वैसे CSS में border के लिए different properties है, background के लिए भी different properties है. Okay. Then again different properties means by default when we define the square, when we define one block, वहां पे सारे corners जो है वो right angle triangle होते हैं. But if you want to define that block in rounded shape, then for that different properties used, that is it is said to be CSS rounded corners. Then instead of normal border, अगर आपको image set करना है as a border, for that again it is possible with the help of your CSS. Again, with the help of CSS, we can define animation also. Okay. So जो भी data represent करना है, that data we can represent with the help of CSS. It is a formatting language. Okay. With the help of CSS, we can define different formatting to our data. Let's see another properties for CSS background. Okay. So for CSS background, we'll discuss first background image. So it is a property which is used to define image to your web page. Means as a background image set होगा. Then background color instead of image अगर color चाहिए तो, and background repeat property अगर आपको background repeat करना है या नहीं करना है या फिर सिर्फ horizontally vertically repeat करना है. Let's see one demo, then you will get more clarity about all CSS background properties. So here I am giving name, that is background.html. So structure of your HTML page, again we need to define style tag. Okay, so in HTML background के लिए within the body tag we have used BG color and background attribute. Yes, but in this CSS we have to use CSS properties. For which tag? For body tag. So it is a selector, na? It is HTML element, okay, which you want to style. Then first I am using here background color. So first मैंने दिया है yellow. And now again यहाँ पे already body tag define किया है. If you want to represent some data, suppose hello. Okay, you can represent that. For execution, right click and open in browser. Can you see? हो गया है background color set to your entire web page. Instead of this, अगर आपको different color चाहिए, then that color also you can define. That is sky blue. Yes, but instead of this background color, अब मुझे चाहिए background image. Okay. So for this background color, I am defining comment. Then background image. So background image. Remember one thing, when we use background image property, here you have to define URL, means which image you want to set as a background. That image URL. So we have Daisy ka image. So daisy.jpeg, proper extension is mandatory, otherwise वो display नहीं होगा. We'll check output. Just a moment. Daisy.jpeg. Right click and open it down. Okay, still it is not working. We'll check into our folder. Is Daisy image is present? Yes, Daisy. Then properties. Okay, we'll copy this name. So see, exactly same thing, that is background hyphen image, then colon URL means your image name. And now here we'll check output. Okay, still it is not displaying. So we'll apply different properties also. So here background repeat property. ओके सो अगर आपको बैकग्राउंड प्रॉपर्टी मीन्स आपका इमेज रिपीट करना है या नहीं करना है. सो अगर मैंने यहाँ पे नो रिपीट दिया, सो विल चेक अगेन विद द हेल्प ऑफ दिस ब्राउजर. विल चेक नहीं हो रहा है, सो विल ओपन आवर फाइल विद डिफरेंट ब्राउजर. ओके सो एंड दिस डेस्कटॉप. ओके जस्ट अ मोमेंट, आई थिंक ये फाइल यस डिफरेंट फोल्डर में ये स्टोर हो गया है, दैट्स व्हाई वो अप्लाई नहीं हो रहा है. ओके सो background.html राइट नाउ मैंने वो सेव किया है इनटू आवर फोल्डर. अब ये अप्लाई होगा. सो विल चेक. ओके बिफोर दिस विल चेक ओनली फॉर बैकग्राउंड इमेज. We'll close all these files and again we'll check. कैन यू सी? वो फाइल दूसरे फोल्डर में गलती से सिलेक्ट हो गया था, सेव हो गया था, दैट्स व्हाई वो ओपन नहीं हुआ था. नाउ कैन यू सी? मैंने मेरे फोल्डर में सेव किया है तो ये अप्लाई हो गया. यस. सो यहाँ पे एज अ बैकग्राउंड एक इमेज सेट हो गया है. यस. नाउ डेजी का इमेज विल चेक. यहाँ पे डेजी का इमेज एक ही है, बट सेम इमेज नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स यहाँ पे डिस्प्ले हो रहा है. व्हाई? बिकॉज इट कवर्स एंटायर बैकग्राउंड एरिया. यस. नाउ मुझे ये इमेज रिपीट नहीं करना है. ओके. सो फॉर दैट वी हैव टू यूज बैकग्राउंड रिपीट प्रॉपर्टी एंड इसका वैल्यू इज नो रिपीट. वेल चेक. नो रिपीट हो गया है क्या इमेज रिपीट? नो. ओके. बट ये तो एज अ बैकग्राउंड सेट नहीं हो रहा है. यस. मुझे एज अ बैकग्राउंड सेट करना है. ये तो नॉर्मल इमेज जैसे हम लोड करते हैं वैसे हो गया है. ओके. सो फॉर दैट वी हैव टू यूज another property, and name of that property is background size property. There are two different values of background size property, contain and cover. So cover means it will cover entire background area. So can you see एक ही image as a background set हो गया. Okay. Now there are different values for background repeat property. That is, I want to repeat this image just horizontally or just vertically. So for that we can use repeat x. Repeat x means just ये क्या हो रहा है? horizontally repeat. Vertically repeat करना है तो repeat y value you have to use. Okay. But एक ही image as a background set करना है तो no repeat, and then you have to use background size property का cover value. तो एक ही image as a background यहाँ पे set हो रहा है. Cleared all of you? Yes. वो फर्स्ट फाइल गलती से मैंने डिफरेंट फोल्डर में सेव किया था, दैट्स व्हाई वो इफेक्ट अप्लाई नहीं हुआ था, बिकॉज मेरा फाइल उसी फोल्डर में है बट माय HTML डॉक्यूमेंट डिफरेंट फोल्डर में था. ओके. सो यू हैव टू चेक एट द टाइम ऑफ सेविंग योर फाइल. क्लियर? So in this way you can define different CSS background properties. Yes, please give confirmation in chat box. Okay, all students are saying yes. Okay. Now we'll see how to define CSS in HTML. See, यहाँ पे there are three different ways to define CSS in HTML. Very first one is inline CSS. Second one is internal CSS, and third one is external CSS. So with the help of these three ways, we can apply CSS in HTML. Inline CSS, internal CSS, and external CSS. Inline CSS means within a line, you have to use your style attribute. अब तक हमने style tag use किया है, but when we use this inline CSS, okay, when we use inline style shift, यहाँ पे you have to use style attribute within the relevant tag. Okay, तो कैसे use करना है? Suppose I want to define some properties to my paragraph. So body tag में आपका p tag रहेगा, and here you have to just add style attribute, And within this double quote, you can define your CSS properties. तो इनलाइन CSS अगर आपने यूज किया है तो यहाँ पे आपका प्रेजेंटेशन एंड कंटेंट मिक्स होगा. ओके, दिस इज इनलाइन स्टाइल शीट. सेकेंड वन इज इंटरनल स्टाइल शीट. इंटरनल स्टाइल शीट अब तक हमने जो यूज किया है दैट इज नथिंग बट इंटरनल स्टाइल शीट. Means you have to define style tag within the head section of HTML page. Means ये जो डेमो है it is based on internal style sheet. तो यहाँ पे within the head tag मैंने style tag दिया है and within the style tag you can define your CSS syntax, that is internal style sheet. And last one is external style sheet. External style sheet के लिए you have to follow different steps. First, you have to create separate CSS file. Means you have to save that file with .css extension. And then उस CSS file में only CSS के properties रहेंगे. And then you can link that CSS file in your HTML file. Okay. So now we'll see one example. तो यहाँ पे मैंने internal style sheet दिया है. For inline style sheet, here I am using head tag. And within this head tag, I am using style attribute and will define the different properties. Suppose heading मुझे green color में चाहिए. Then next, text align, center. Okay, and heading, that is welcome to Profound. Okay, just a heading I have mentioned and let's check out. Can you see heading के लिए properties हो गया है assign. So with the help of which style sheet? Inline style sheet. This is internal style sheet. For external style sheet, you have to create separate CSS file. आपको आपके ही फोल्डर में आपका फाइल सेव करना है. Suppose I am giving here external.css and in the CSS file only CSS properties. For example, H3 color, suppose red, text align, center, and text decoration, that is underline. Again, I want to assign different properties for paragraph tag also. So color, suppose green. Then for paragraph text align मुझे right side में चाहिए and इसके लिए text transform suppose capitalize. So आपको जो values देने हैं that value you can assign to your CSS property. Second step, you have to create HTML file and you have to save that file with .html extension. Then structure of your HTML page, then body tag में first H3, that is external style sheet, and then your paragraph. This demo is based on external style sheet. Okay. Now, जब भी हम ये एग्जीक्यूट करेंगे हो रहा है क्या असाइन प्रॉपर्टीज? नो, बिकॉज CSS का डेटा CSS फाइल में है. So to link this CSS file, you have to use link tag. Okay, which tag we need to define here? Link tag. तो by default relation style sheet आएगा. Type कौन से टाइप का है डेटा? CSS. href means you have to give the reference of your CSS file, that is external.css. Now we'll check execution. Can you see? अब हो गए हैं properties assigned. Yes. So in these ways you can define your CSS in HTML. It is totally dependent on you. आपको जो यूज करना है वो आप यूज कर सकते हो. Inline style sheet, external style sheet और internal style sheet. Okay. So cleared all of you. Again और भी advanced CSS properties है, बैकग्राउंड के लिए भी है, बॉर्डर्स के लिए भी है. ओके, ईच एंड एवरीथिंग डिफाइन करने के लिए CSS में डिफरेंट प्रॉपर्टीज आर देयर. So this is just introduction part of CSS. So yes, everyone, is there any doubt in this session? All of you clear these things? Okay, please give confirmation, other students. Okay, okay, okay. Yes, most welcome, Kajal. Okay, so yes, all of you will stop here for the day. Okay, with the help of HTML and CSS, you can design different web pages. You can design your web applications. So these two technologies we can use for front end. With the help of this front end, आप आपके application का design कर सकते. Okay, so we'll stop here for the day. Thank you.